Hey, it's Dr. Darren Schmidt. So I'm going to go over this warning letter I got from the FTC. I'm going to show you their interpretation of the law. And they sent me this warning letter, so I took down 13 videos on YouTube. And I'm going to go through questions that I replied back to them. So, and I'm not being antagonistic at all. I'm seriously inquisitive as to how they came to the conclusions that they did. And so let's just jump into it. So at the very bottom it says it is unlawful under the FTC Act 15 USC 41 to advertise that a product can prevent, treat, or cure human disease unless you possess competent and reliable scientific evidence. So I got to ask, please define for me competent and reliable scientific evidence. And I know there's like some bro scientists on social media, and they basically use science as a weapon, and they throw it around, and they always want to prove you wrong. And the other thing they say is that please show me science to back up what you're saying, but only use reputable journals, medical journals. And my reply back is, please send me a list of all the unreputable medical journals, and I'll start from there. So it's a total opinion about what is competent and reliable. So next it says, okay, this is competent and reliable scientific evidence, including, when appropriate, well-controlled human clinical studies, substantiating that the claims are true at the time they are made. So you don't have to have well-controlled human clinical studies. You can just have other types of science. Okay, fine. Now, for COVID-19, no such study is currently known to exist for the products identified above. So they're referring to the supplements that I was talking about, but that's not appropriate for COVID-19. And I've always said, don't come to me. If you have COVID-19, go to the hospital. I don't treat COVID-19. So, but the other thing is, if you're just sitting at home with nothing to do, buy some supplements. You got nothing to lose. So it says, for COVID-19, no such study is currently known to exist for the products identified above. Thus, any coronavirus-related prevention or treatment claims regarding such products are not supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence. I wrestled with that for a couple days, and I'm wondering, I've never talked about COVID-19, but they're jumping from one thought to another. Thus, any coronavirus-related prevention or treatment claims are not supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence. So they're saying that if you're talking about any of the 1,100 coronavirus species, you are automatically talking about COVID-19. See, that I don't agree with, because I'm not talking about COVID-19. I've always said I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about all these other types of coronaviruses in that family. But they're saying I am talking about COVID-19, but I've been continuously saying I'm not. Okay, so let's go over my response to them. Now, automatically, I took down 13 videos on a web page. So here's my response. And I'm being civil, and I'm being inquisitive. And this is small font. I don't expect you to read it. I'll read it to you. So my first question, I'm not sure how talking about any coronavirus of the past automatically equals COVID-19. This quote from the letter does not make sense to me, and that's the for COVID-19, no such study is currently known to exist for the products identified above. Thus, any coronavirus-related prevention or treatment claims regarding such products are not supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence. And I say your answer to this question will probably tie in with question 10 below. So just bear with me, we'll get to that question 10. The next question, can I say this phrase, quote, in the past, there are studies showing that St. John's wort kills a strain of coronavirus. This is not the same as killing SARS-CoV-2, unquote. So I'm waiting for the answers, and I sent 2 emails, and I don't care if it takes a week or 2 weeks. I'm confident that this lawyer, I'm not going to say his name, but he works for the FTC. I'm confident he will respond to me. But I'm really just being curious and inquisitive. So can I delineate that we're talking about a past strain of coronavirus? We're not talking about the current strain. Number 3, can I say, quote, there are 1,100 species of coronaviruses that have been studied in the past that respond to a variety of herbs, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. These are not the same as SARS-CoV-2. Okay, number 4, fourth question. I have said multiple times, quote, do not come to my office or call me if you think you have COVID-19, go to the hospital, unquote. Is that a good enough disclaimer? Okay, number 5, what is the FTC process? I just want to clarify this. First, they give you a warning letter. then a second warning letter, then they fine you $135,000. Is this correct? And then what? And so if I take them to court, the court case is not to pay the $135,000. The court case is not, hey, I want my freedom of speech. It's, hey, I'm not going to give you $135,000. So that's kind of awkward and weird that way. Number 6, here's a protocol put forth by East Virginia Medical School that has recommendations to treat and cure COVID-19. It includes supplements. Is this against the FTC law too? Are you going to stop them too? So I can show you East Virginia Medical Group, Critical Care COVID-19 Management Protocol, and they jump right in on page 2, a whole bunch of medications and supplements, including vitamin C and melatonin and zinc. But the letter from the FTC said there is no cure for coronavirus. Therefore, that all needs to be shut down. So what they're saying is that East Virginia Medical School is going against the law, and they deserve a warning letter too. Any doctor talking about any cure needs to be shut down, even if it works. All right, question number 7. Hydroxychloroquine plus zinc plus antibiotic studies have been performed with success, yet that protocol is still being shut down. Why? Question number 8, and this is referring to Dr. David Brownstein. He's a holistic MD about 40 minutes from my office. If Dr. David Brownstein is curing COVID one way and other MDs are curing it in different ways, is that not more important than waiting for a study? Shouldn't the process be to find out what the successful doctors are doing and duplicate that around the country instead of shutting them up? Maybe this process could have saved tens of thousands of lives. Question number 9. If there is no known treatment for COVID-19, what is a hospital supposed to do? Just let people die and not try anything? Question number 10. Which of these studies is not competent and reliable? So I have 14, 15, 17. I got 17 studies. And you should click on those links and tell me exactly why one or all of them or some of them are not competent nor reliable. Then I sign to thank you for your time and patience. I look forward to your answers. And I may have more questions later. And I have 3 more questions I sent a few days later. Number 11. This MD on YouTube, and the link is below here, and his YouTube channel is called MedCram. I've been following him for the last couple of months. He's talking about COVID-19 and vitamins, but he's not selling anything. I just want to clarify that this is okay. YouTube is censoring him. So in this video, he's talking about vitamin D. And so should the FTC send him a warning letter too? Okay, question number 12. There's no study showing a vaccine Okay, this is killer. Follow me on this one. There's no study showing a vaccine prevents or cures any coronavirus or COVID. So shouldn't Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, and Bill Gates get a warning letter to not promote the trade of a vaccine? Also, governors of some states are promoting the trade of a vaccine in order to fully open up their state. Michigan, Illinois, New York are examples of governors promoting the trade of an untested vaccine. Shouldn't they get a warning letter? Number 13. This may fall out of your jurisdiction, but I need to ask about face masks, social distancing, and the economic lockdown. Epidemiology shows these have no effect on the infection rate and fatality rate of the population. People ordering these might deserve a warning letter, but since these orders are not related to trade, then they may not be your jurisdiction. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. So the point is, everything that we've done, whether it's a governor or a president or a doctor, is illegal according to the FTC, including face masks, because there's no studies that show it prevents or cures COVID, including social distancing. It's illegal according to the FTC, including economic lockdown. None of these have been proven in the science to prevent or cure coronavirus COVID-19. So if the FTC is going to send a letter to me and to David Brownstein and a few hundred other doctors and shut down the hydroxychloroquine doctors who are successful. They also need to shut down Birx and Bill Gates and the governors who are locking down the economy, because nothing's been proven in a competent and reliable study to prevent or cure COVID-19. So the FTC needs to shut everybody up about this. No matter if the therapy is staying at home or a supplement or exercise or a drug or IV anything, or even ventilators or oxygen. So I'm looking forward to hearing back from this lawyer, and he has quite an effect on my practice and on your life and on family members and friends and the economy. So the FTC, and I'm sure they're working with the other members of the federal government to shut down everything. This is the deep state that Dr. Shiva talks about. It's lawyers and lobbyists, not medical doctors, who are shutting down the economy and ruining lives, basically, with no scientific evidence to back up what they're doing. Okay, I want to show you two videos, and I'll put the links below. But this is a very heady 174 slides by a mathematician in the UK. And what he did is he broke down the statistics and the data from the government, and he shows that the peak of the coronavirus, COVID-19, happened at the end of March all around the world. And so by the time we were locking down, it was already on its way out. And the way that you figure this out is by doing the correct type of math and graphing. And he did logarithmic scaling of the data. And if you watch the video, you'll see that country after country by March 25th, that had already peaked. So at the very end of this, I'm like 2 minutes from the end of the video. He made this video, and it said it's designed for the FBI. And he's saying that there's this professor emeritus, Gary Hannington, this is at Imperial College, misrepresented key facts about COVID-19 in an article designed to mislead and generate fear among other persons similarly tasked, such as Professor Neil Ferguson, to encourage compliance with measures which would curtail the rights of citizens. So Ferguson is the professor that has said that 2 million Americans would die from COVID-19 and 500,000 British. And he's been wrong year after year, from Ebola, SARS, MERS. He's an epidemiologist, and his predictions are always way too high. And then people do drastic measures like what we're doing in the spring of 2020, and they do massive damage to the American economy. And so check this video out, because this guy, Gary Hannington, he's the guy that started this whole thing. He's the guy that looked at the numbers, embellished them, misrepresented them, did the wrong kind of graphing with the correct data, and he showed it. And at the very end of his report, he said, if everything continues the way that it is, it'll get bad. We need to address it appropriately. And he put all the responsibility on a reporter. He took some data from a reporter, and this guy Gary had no responsibility. He put it on a reporter. So just check out this video. It's super interesting. The last video I want to go over is from this woman down here in the bottom right. Her name is Amazing Polly on YouTube. And the question here is, if you were Fauci and Bill Gates, and you wanted to have a coronavirus vaccine, the history is such that they inject it into an animal, and initially they get antibodies, and so therefore it's good. But 6 months later or a year later, if the animal gets the wild virus of coronavirus, then they get really sick, and then they are more likely to die. So it always fails so far. The coronavirus vaccines have always failed. They've never gone beyond the animal models. So, but this is the time for Bill Gates and Fauci to make billions of dollars. And they've bypassed the animal models. And the first attempt was on, I think, 20 young, healthy people. And, or maybe, I don't remember the number, but 20% of them had severe adverse effects. But how can you go through the standard medical research pathway, but yet bypass the animal models? How do you bypass standard research? Well, you'd have to know somebody at the NIH who's in charge of what's called Human Subjects and Medical Ethics. It's a whole department at the NIH. And they would have to give the go-ahead to bypass animal models and start experimenting directly on human beings. Well, the person is right here. She's head of human subjects research and medical ethics at NIH, and she's married to Fauci. Can you believe it? And so Amazing Polly figured this out, and this is a cartel. They just want the billions. You know, anytime a vaccine is added to the childhood vaccination program or regimen, that is $1 billion for that pharmaceutical manufacturer. So here's Bill Gates. He's the pharmaceutical manufacturer, and he's got Fauci on his side, and they can bypass testing on animals and they go straight to humans because Fauci's wife is the head of human subjects research and medical ethics. It's not it's not. I'm not making this up. You can't make this stuff up. I'll put the link below from Amazing Polly. You can subscribe to her channel and check out her other fascinating videos. So I want to end off by saying in the last 2.5 months, I've been railing against medicine because they should be the ones curing this virus, and they're not. They're failing at it. But I understand now why. It's the FTC. It's government control. This is tyranny. This is the epitome of socialism. And the famous socialist named Vladimir Lenin said the goal of socialism is communism. And communism is total control of the government over the people. And so that's what we're experiencing, is that the FTC has total control over what anybody says regarding COVID-19. In the meantime, 100,000 people die because of the FTC. You can blame YouTube, you can blame Facebook, you can blame Twitter, throw them right into the pile. But the FTC is the one shutting down all the scientific research. That medical doctors, they're sending out letters, and probably this week or next week there will be a letter with my name on it. And so it's a consortium of people who have this idea that the free market is bad, and you being able to take care of yourself and educate yourself is bad. And instead, they want to control the healthcare, and they're going to make a ton of money on it. And if you get well, they can't sell a vaccine because you're well. And if you get cured of COVID-19 or whatever other disease, they're not going to make any money because you're cured and you're healthy. So it's been the same conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy, it's truth. And we're seeing it. It's so bare boned right now. It's so obvious to see that you can't deny it, right? And I've been saying this my whole career, you know, over 20 years. Yeah, the pharmaceutical company wants to make your money. They're trying to squash your health. They're lying to you about, you know, whatever. And but who doesn't see this now? You know, it's like it's so obvious. So I have to apologize for railing against medical doctors. I see that your hands are cuffed behind your back, just like what I experienced last week when I got the letter from the FTC. There's a lot of things I can't say anymore. And still to this day, I have probably 2,000 people who have some sort of association with my practice, who are active, who have not gotten COVID-19. I did not prevent that. I didn't cure it. I never said I could treat it. Okay, but my patients are really healthy, and the active ones have not gotten COVID-19. So everything I just said to you could be misinterpreted by a lawyer, and they can come after me. But you know, I got to tell the truth. I have not promoted any therapy for COVID-19 or coronavirus in this video. I don't want to be fined $135,000. If I want to spend that kind of money, it's going to be for something like this, a 1970 Plymouth Superbird. So I hope you liked this information. Please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe. YouTube has done a fantastic job of squashing my channel. I am net 0 new subscribers in the last 12 months. I'm thinking about other opportunities. I already have my free ebook going, and I'm developing courses. So please download the ebook if you haven't already. Read through it. It's fantastic. I spent months on it. It defines my whole career. So I'll see you at the next video.